should you go out on a ball and have sex with as many people as you want? Is that a good idea? And should you do it? Well, frankly, and again, I would emphasize on this point, you are a free-willed moral agent. You get to do whatever you want, okay? I, or any other being for that matter, have absolutely no right within the simulation, within the game, to tell you what to do and to even tell you what is right or wrong. This is the whole point of the simulation. It is a free will simulation, and you guys know what I think about free will. It's a total illusion, but it feels real. It's an experience. And so the way the simulation works is respect the sovereignty of the other being and don't impose your opinions, don't impose anything on them. Simply share from a place of sharing, okay? So it's not my place to tell you what is and what isn't. I simply share my opinion, I share my insights on any particular subject that I talk about. So, should you? That be all that being said, should you? Well, you know, would I do that right now? Like, what would I do, right? What would Saeed do in this case? Well, I thought about this long and hard, no pun intended, okay? And you could really think of sex a lot like you think of food. They're kind of pretty much related, you know, they're ingrained in the human experience. And if you ask an average person, your average Joe, what are the two things that give you the most pleasure? I'll tell you, food and sex. Okay, they're very closely related, and there's a lot of things you could learn from both. Okay, so with food, if you go out to the supermarket and you absolutely pick out everything, you go to every shelf, every aisle, and you pick something from it. So you go to the fruits and vegetable aisles, you pick some kale, you put some apples. You go to the next aisle and you pick up some chips. That's the chips aisle. Then you go to the chocolate bar aisle. You pick some chocolate bar. You go to the next one. You pick up some oils. Next one, you pick up some factory farmed meats. You pick up everything. And you go, and you eat that every day. You eat all these every day. You're going to get sick pretty soon. Pretty soon. Okay? You're going to have all kinds of digestive issues, all kinds of eating disorders. It's not going to be pretty. You're mixing and matching too much. You're being indiscriminatory with the energy that you're allowing to enter your body. It isn't going to be good news for you, my friend. Exact same thing about sex. If you're going to go be totally indiscriminatory with your sexual partners, you're inviting a lot of trouble. They call them STDs, okay? They call them STDs, sexually transmitted diseases. Usually people who get these diseases are very indiscriminatory with the people they have sex with. No right or wrong about this. You guys know my opinion on duality and right or wrong. It's just a matter of it is what it is. Okay, it is what it is. You go and pick a bunch of random foods, you're gonna get sick from it. If you just eat everything there is in the supermarket, you pick out everything and anything and you eat it, you're gonna get sick pretty soon. Same thing with being totally indiscriminatory about sexual partners. You're gonna get sick in many ways. The thing with the energy transference in a sexual encounter, it is much stronger than the energy transference of, say, eating a bad meal. That's what you got to be conscious of. It's stronger. You're going to be getting sick physically, known as sexually transmitted disease. You're going to be picking up some, God knows what type of energy, man. God knows where these people have been and where their minds are. You pick up their mental demons, their karma. Wow. Wow, a lot involved in sex. A lot involved. I know it is often the dream of a male to be endowed with multiple female partners and be the pimp, right? Be careful what you wish for. You might just get it. Okay? So, you could see now that it probably is not a good idea to go and have sex with whomever seems mateable by mere physical appearance. Okay? And back to food now, you start to become more selective about the foods you eat, right? So you become more selective, you start to eat fruits and vegetables, maybe, you know, some wild caught fish, some this and that. Your health is going to do a lot better. No question about it. You're going to do a lot better. You pick, you know, even though you may be still eating animals, still eating this, but you're eating really good stuff. Wild caught salmon, you know, free range eggs. You're eating, you know, as healthy as you can, organic, everything organic. Your health is going to improve without a doubt, without a question, without a shred of doubt. You're taking in better energy, okay? But there's better energy coming from the foods that nourish you. Therefore, your connection with the energy that is coming from food is much more enhanced, much more elevated. You feel better, okay? Same thing. You could still be eating all these different foods, still having all these different sexual encounters with different people. And you could be feeling good. You could be feeling genuinely good, you know, because you're more selective about the foods you eat. You're only having sex with organic chicks, with organic guys, okay? Farm-raised, free-range, okay? Organic guys, organic gals, right? You're going to be feeling better. However, with food, you also notice something. When you mix too many foods, like if you mix a piece of fruit with sushi, it's not going to sit well. Just too much mixing here, too much, you know, the way your body processes the proteins, it's different than the way it processes the sugars. It isn't a good idea to mix up, by the way, a piece of meat with a fruit in the same meal. It's not going to sit well. And if you eat the fruit after, it's going to ferment. And you're going to have fermentation. You're going to have some bad times there in your digestion. So even then, you recognize, as you're eating healthier and you're feeling better, you recognize, maybe I shouldn't be doing too many mixing here. Let me make my meals simpler. Same thing applies to sex. You could be having, you know, sexual encounters with all these different, let's call them organic, high-quality partners. And you're feeling good. You're feeling, maybe you're not feeling like wow, but you're feeling good. You know, it's like the energy you're picking up, it's okay. It's okay. It's good. It's good for the most part. But every now and then, maybe if you're, say, having sex with someone on Thursday and then you're having sex again on Sunday with someone else, maybe that mixing up of energy is not going to sit too well. So you start to simplify your foods a little bit. You start to say, okay, I'm just going to eat fish for that one meal and I'm just going to eat fruits for that one meal. And you start to do that. And you do the same thing with your, you know, with your sexual partners. Maybe you drop a few partners. Maybe you're having, you know, sex with, say, 4 people right now. You say, let me drop it to 2. And you drop it to 2 and you make it simpler. And you're like, oh, life is simpler. You know, I mean, you know, there's a lot of energy involved. The thing is, maybe I am underestimating the power of sexual transference of energy. I am not underestimating. I told you in the beginning of the video, but maybe I'm trivializing it a little bit with comparing it to food, because the energy transference and the energy, it's wow, the difference is like it's way more in sex. It's way more enhanced in sex. You're exchanging energy on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, on a karmic level. That's another thing we should talk about altogether, the karma involved in having sex with someone. And you're exchanging bodily fluids. You know, very intimate bodily fluids. So the energy transference is a lot more powerful in in having sex with someone than with eating foods. Your body will recover a lot quicker from eating a bad meal than from having bad sex or bad energy transference, negative energy transference between you and another being. So you start to simplify more with your food, you start to simplify more with your sexual preferences and partners, and you feel them even better, right? You're more selective now. You still have maybe 2, 3 partners, but very, very selective about them. You know, they're very healthy partners and everything. You're feeling better now. You're feeling good, you know, even better than you used to before. Just like now with simplifying your meals and not mixing and matching so much, your digestion is better. You're feeling better, right? But as it seems to me, and this seems to apply in every area in life, that the simpler and simpler you go about everything, the better and better it is for you as a conscious being looking to achieve enlightenment. So you know, we all know that fasting is an incredibly powerful thing for your body. Incredibly powerful. And in fact, the less you eat, the better you feel. And perhaps, just perhaps, the less sex you have and the more selective you are about who you have sex, perhaps you might feel better. You just might. Because now you're even more selective about the energy that enters the system that is you. Remember, you're an energy system and everything around you, you're in relationship with everything around you because everything is energy. When you have sex with someone, there's two energy systems coming together and interacting. And like any chemical reaction, they interact in a certain way. Hydrogen bonds react with oxygen bonds to form water. What a beautiful chemical reaction that is. What a gorgeous chemical reaction that is. So you could be having an amazing chemical reaction with another being that could elevate both of you to higher awareness, to higher consciousness. Okay? But you start to realize more and more that, you know, to become learned, to gain the world, to become more in the world, more successful, more famous, more powerful in every way, gain daily. To obtain Tao, reduce daily. Reduce and reduce until all action is reduced to non-action. So it seems to me that the simpler everything else, there's more of a peace of mind. You know, if you've been involved with several people at a time, it is exhausting mentally. Because you're not just having sex here, you're exchanging emotions, you're exchanging karma, okay? You gotta remember, if you leave on bad terms with anybody that you're having sex with right now, that's karma. There's a certain emotional string that's going to keep you too anchored, and you're gonna have to come back another lifetime and experience that again until you resolve it in a friendly, peaceful manner. If you end up with someone on bad terms, that's karma. Both of you are not done with each other yet. You've got to keep in mind the karmic bonds that are formed during sex, and they could last you lifetimes. You might have to come back, incarnate again and again and again because you have certain karmic bonds with certain people that you were sexually involved with that you ended up on bad terms with, and now you're gonna have to do this again. You're gonna have to take another birth just to experience that. And if you don't make it better this time around, you're taking how many lifetimes ahead of you just to finally resolve that conflict, finally reconcile this karmic contract, this karmic bond between you and another conscious being. Lots involved in sex, lots. And so when you recognize how much is involved for you karmically, you become more selective and you become more conscious of who it is that you exchange the energy with, and you start to look at it from your third eye, saying, am I going to leave this person on bad terms? Is this person conscious enough? If you're going to enter a contract of sexual nature with someone, make sure they have their shit together. What do I mean by have their shit together? If that person gets attached to you, believe it or not, that is also your karma. You should be smarter than that. You should enter the contract of any kind, if it's going to involve sex, with another person that also has their shit together, that understands the noble truths, understands why we're here, understands how desires work, how attachment works. Somebody who is more and more in harmony with the Tao. Basically, that's the way I can put it to you. If you're going to have sex with someone that is in harmony with the Tao. And if they're in harmony in the Tao, they're not going to get attached to you. They're going to love you. You're going to love them. You're not going to get attached to them. And so you don't really end up creating negative karma. Because if you get in a relationship, a sexual relationship with someone, and you're having sex with them, and it's nice and pleasurable, you get pleasurable sensations, but they're not really too aware here. They're not too conscious. Sooner or later, you guys are going to grow apart, very, very likely. Okay, so if you're mentally not on the same page, eventually you're going to grow apart. The problem is if that person is not conscious and they've built some emotional attachments to you, now you're okay, you're not emotionally attached, you love them, you honor them, you accept them. But they're emotionally attached to you, that's on you. That's on you. That's negative karma for you. Because you're going to leave them, they're going to cry and suffer and be in pain and cry in misery over, why did you leave me, this and that. Well, you should have been conscious enough to know that that person is not conscious enough. that we're going to eventually grow apart, and we're going to leave on not the best terms here. And that's my karma, and I'm going to have to deal with this. And I'm probably going to have to take another birth and be with this person again, and reconcile this. Okay? So when you become more conscious of the game, of how the game works, you just naturally, your actions follow your understanding. You know, Buddha always says that ignorance is the cause of our suffering in many ways. Attachment is, but that comes from ignorance, because we're ignorant of our predicament, why we're here, how the game works. But the more you understand how the game works, it seems to me that your actions follow naturally. Just like when you eat when you understand how food, your relationship to food is, you start to naturally eat healthier. And the more you eat healthier, the more you're inclined to eat healthier. Your actions just kind of match your mental understanding of things. The more aware and conscious you are of how the game works and how everything works and why things are happening, the karma involved and everything, the more you become more naturally selective towards who you have sex with. And yeah, you start to be conscious yourself. And if you're going to have sex with someone, you just become more conscious of it. You make sure that they're just as conscious as you are. You're both on the same page, and you're both working towards this goal of achieving mukti, of achieving liberation, of achieving enlightenment, and you help one another in the process. Naturally, that's just a natural inclination. You're going to want to probably have less and less sex with so many people. Your relationship to energy becomes you become more selective about it, right? Because, you know, like one of the things I've become more conscious of lately is like our relationship, human beings, to the sun, our relationship to Mother Earth, our relationship to the external world, the planet itself. This is the primary reason why I'm going to Thailand. You become more conscious, so your actions naturally follow. I realize it's not healthy to be covered in clothes for 7 months of the year and be living in without the sun in a very, very cold environment. I realize that. I'm doing it, we can adapt, we're fine, but I realize it drains my energy. Become more conscious, so naturally my actions will follow, move to a place where I have a better relationship with the sun, with the elements, with the earth, with the climate. You know, my skin is more exposed to the elements, to the 4 elements. And I have more time to meditate. There's less stress. I recognize, so my actions naturally follow. In the same way, when you become more conscious of how energy is affecting you and how you're picking it up, and this is very powerful. You pick up so much information. You're picking up so much information from that person when you're having sex with them. And the bodily fluids exchanged, if that person is not eating healthy, they're not healthy. First of all, yeah, when you make out, you're going to be like, oh, your breath stinks. Okay? And you're just, you know, you're exchanging very intimate bodily fluids here. Okay? So if the person's not healthy, they're not eating healthy and all, even that, naturally, you're going to be repelled if you're taking care of your health. Now, one thing I do want to make, a self-realized being does not give a shit about everything I just said. Now, I am not self-realized, you're not self-realized, otherwise you wouldn't be here. A self-realized being doesn't care, because a self-realized being, their relationship with energy, they're always essentially connected to infinite cosmic energy. And they're able to command energy at will. And so they won't care. They won't pick up the energy. Now, again, I'm not a self-realized being. I've got many, many ways to go. I'm just an idiot. You know, you're not a self-realized being. I'm sorry. If you're watching these videos and you're looking at me as a teacher, then I am like nowhere near enlightenment, okay? Nowhere near being self-realized. So I'm sorry if you're not a self-realized being either. And so we pick up energy very easily. Our relationship to energy, you pick it up. We're not yet in that space like Jesus, where you could walk on water and you could manipulate energy. You could transmute it however you wish. Okay? You're going to pick up that energy. You're going to pick up if you're getting all this intimate fluid exchange, and if that person isn't healthy, you're going to pick it up. You're going to get sick. You're going to get sick. Okay? You're going to get sick physically speaking. You're going to get sick. So you could still have sex with multiple partners, assuming that they're all extremely conscious. Just like you could eat a banana, you could eat an apple, you could eat an orange, you could eat a pineapple, all within one day, right? And still be fine, right? Your system is very refined. You're eating, but not too much. Because believe me, even if you're eating the healthiest foods there is. And if you overeat, big problem. Those, I'm telling you, I eat only fruits, mostly fruits right now. And when I overeat, I'm having a bad time here. I'm discomfortable, my digestion is comfortable. When I don't overeat, I eat just the right amount. Oh, it's perfect. It's flawless digestion. Okay? I'm telling you, even if you're having too much sex, it's gonna hurt too much. Okay? You could eat multiple fruits in one day and be fine. But if you're, again, primed, you're optimized, you're healthy, you're not overindulging, you could do the same thing. You'd have sex with multiple partners, but they better damn well be a banana and a watermelon and a blueberry and a strawberry, and just very, very refined and very healthy. And then you'll be okay that way. You know, you will be okay. Right? So hopefully I delivered, you know, again, I think the moral is there's, you couldn't, and it's up to you. And there is no such thing as, oh, if you're only monogamous, you're going to be healthier or whatever. Or if you're polygamous, you're going to be healthier or whatever. Or if you're having no partners, you're going to be healthier or whatever, right? No rules about it. It's just a matter of somebody could be eating nothing but ice cream. They're only eating one thing. They're not mixing up, but it's still ice cream. Not very good. You could be monogamous, right? But still be like, you know, having very unconscious sex and you know, very unconscious energy exchange, very unbalanced. You could, absolutely. You know, you're not mixing and matching, you're not doing all these things. Oh, you could be eating several fruits and still be very healthy, like healthier than the guy that's only eating ice cream. So there is no, you see, you just gotta have to be conscious, be aware of your relationship with energy, and so you start to see everything around you as an energy system. And you see yourself as an energy system, and you say, is this adding to the energy system or is this taking away from the energy system? That would be the moral of the story here, okay? Thank you very much, guys, for supporting our the channel via Patreon. This cup of tea, which is like 2/3 done, more even, is sponsored by you guys. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. Mwah. Big kisses to you guys. Big love. Thank you very much for your generosity. I have really been enjoying speaking with you guys via video. Really, I've got a family over here. So thank you guys for the Patreon. One love. Thank you guys all for watching, for listening, for being here and supporting in any way, shape, or form. And until next time, may the force be with you.